Still with us on a 3-hour news show, it is time for some business updates. When we talk about digital content, there would be endless mentions of streaming services available. Some of these popular sites include YouTube, Netflix, Disney+, HBO Go, and many more. Local sites such as Maxstream, GoPlay, Video, UC, Mola, and Bioskop Online are also becoming more popular. Meanwhile, digital audio contents are now dominated by Spotify, which was previously conquered by iTunes from Apple. Music streaming services barely had any competitors, especially among local streaming services such as Noice. Noice claims itself as a home for Indonesian audio contents and sees demands growing for local digital contents. The service, which is part of the Mahaka Radio Integra Group that owns multiple radio stations, is available for streaming on its platform. Noice was dominated by podcast in 2020, and the streaming service built its repertoire internally, emphasizing on the comedy and horror genre, unlike global rival Spotify, which collaborated with local podcast creators. Noice is expected to challenge Spotify in Indonesia with its local content strategy.
CEO Talk.
Noice recently raised an undisclosed amount of funding co-led by Alpha JWC and Gojek's investment company Go Ventures. To talk more on the matter on this episode of CEO Talk, we are joined by the CEO of Noice, Rado Ardian, and Noice Chief of Business Officer, Niken Sasmaya. Hi, good afternoon, guys. How are you today?
Hello. Good afternoon.
We're doing good. How are you doing?
Doing great as well. All right, let me start with Rado. Can you first explain to us what Noice is? Is it a radio station, podcast streaming platform, or is it the newest contender of Spotify?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having us. So Noice is actually a multi-vertical audio platform originated in Indonesia. So as its name as well, audio platform, it has multi formats of audio from podcast, radio streaming, and then audiobook. And soon we're going to also launch social audio live as well. So the idea of Noice is becoming a one-stop shop audio content that actually focuses on the local content, especially like the one that is relevant to our Indonesian users. So it's including ones from Jakarta, also like some other cities. So and we definitely focus on language, it's not just a bahasa, because we're from a very diverse market. So we want to make sure that the diversity of our country is represented in the platform.
I see. How do you work with radio stations? Is it exclusive for the Noice Group or open to all radio stations?
Yeah, I think for Noice, it's actually an open platform for any radio stations to be onboarded as part of our ecosystem. We started with Mahaka's as the initial radio list that we have on the platform, but we are basically open for any radio station that want to be on part of our platform, because we think this is the digital era. We want to collaborate with everyone to make sure that the great audio content from these radio stations to be also be able to be streamed by Noice. So if you are a radio station that comes from East Java, from Kalimantan, Sumatra, we are basically open to make the radio content to be also available from Noice. So the idea here is whenever our users in Indonesia come to Noice, they can actually tune in to the relevant radio that they find a good fit for them, that is locally relevant for them.
I see. All right. And now I want to go to Niken. We all know that podcasts are gaining popularity right now. Based on your research, do people listen to podcasts more than radio? And what is the current trend on your platform?
Yeah, so majority of the consumption on Noice right now still goes to podcast content. So about 80% consumption goes to the strong original contents that we have. And then radio come as the second largest vertical. And then the third one, which Rado already mentioned at the beginning, we actually see a very interesting increase in the vertical of audiobook. This is where we essentially summarize an audio into a 15 to 20 minutes content for users to actually consume if they're too busy to read an actual book. So we're going to continue to develop different type of content on our platform to really serve the needs of Indonesian audio audience.
And how do content creators make money from podcasts? Can you explain to us? And do you provide membership programs or strictly advertisement?
Yeah, that's like a $1 million question. So on Noice right now, we actually reward our creator based on the episode that they create with us. So we sign them as a talent, which will allow them to basically unleash their potential to become an audio content creator. There's also a second model that we call Noice Exclusive, whereby we actually search for a great audio or podcast content out there that's already available, and then we buy their IP to be licensed on Noice for a period or a duration time base. When it comes to subscribing model, right now we don't have it, so it means that Noice is actually free for everyone. But this year, in specific, we're actually going to try to pilot different type of revenue model for creators called the creator-driven monetization. So our hope that in the future, our creator can generate their revenue directly from their loyal user or listeners. So the loyal users can donate the portion to the creator so that they can create a better content on the platform.
Right. And what are the toughest challenges in leading a startup? Now, both of you can answer this. Maybe start with Niken first, and then Rado can answer.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a concept. So to introduce this new form of entertainment through audio is actually quite challenging because the market itself is still very niche, right? So people listen on digital, or they're used to listen to audio content on radio. So Noice comes as a platform that actually bridging this two type of world. So what we need to do is to actually introduce this new format to the audience and to actually encourage more and more content creators to create audio content with us to really help to grow this entire ecosystem.
Now, Rado, could you please answer the question? What are the toughest challenges you have faced as a startup company, and what kind of platform will Noice be in 5 years?
Yeah, sure. I think when it comes to the challenge, the way we see it is we platform that will be used by millions of Indonesian users, right? So when it comes to the technology, so we need to make sure that our technology is inclusive enough. So we do not just basically capture the audience that using the good phone. So I think we need to also make sure that the phone, the app is something that even let's say the low-end phone can also do and use, and basically the experience of the app itself is consistent across different or phones, right? So I think to make a platform to be scalable across the different types of audience, we need to make sure that the product and the technology itself is something that robust and pretty much compatible for any types of audience and devices. And the second question about where we see Noice in the next 5 years, I think we want to be the largest local audio platform in the way that we can provide different type of audio content, and our mission is very clear. We want to make sure that we bring delightful audio content to Indonesian users during critical moments. Also, within a day, starting when they wake up, they can find the relevant audio content for them when they are basically preparing themselves for their work. And when they commute, they find also some other type of audio content that can be matched and suitable. And even when they're about to sleep, they can also find some audio content that can help them to keep them company before they go to sleep. So we want to make Noice to be a very common companion that can make sure that the users are feeling that this is such a great app throughout their daily life.
You just secured fresh funds. Do you mind sharing to us how much was the amount, and are there any exciting plans in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, like, unfortunately, we cannot disclose like what the amount of it, but we are excited to kind of like use the fund that we just got from our investors for 3 goals actually. Like, one is definitely we want to double down in terms of the technology cloud, because we know that technology is also like one core of our business and proposition. And then the second thing is like we want to also increase the amount of our original content, because we think that people come to Noice because of the great content that we have, and we want to basically like make sure the variety of content that we have will be like much higher compared to what we have today. And lastly is also like about how we can make sure that we get the right and best talent in the market or in the region, so that we can build the team that can make it in the future.
All right, Rado and Niken, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck on your future plans, and we hope that we can have you both again here on CEO Talk on the 3-Hour News Show. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Right, those are the business updates for this hour. We will have a little break, but when we return, Yanni will bring you the latest from the world of sports.
That's
what have you got,
right.
Yanni, today?
Oh, I have a lot of sports updates for you, especially from the Beijing Olympic that's coming up in 2022.
Wow.
So, coming up after the break, we'll take a look at preparations ahead of the Winter Olympics in Beijing next year. That and more stories to come when the 3-Hour News Show returns.